Breaking news! Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and yes, indeed, I can confirm that a new Anno game is coming soon, and it is confirmed to be Anno 117 PAX ROMANA. Welcome aboard. Today we'll be taking our first look at the trailer for the game, which is just a little bit of a teaser, but certainly has got me excited because this is the earliest of all the Anno games going back to the year 117. I had no idea they would ever go that far back and had no idea where they would be going from Anno 1800, one of the newest in the series. In fact, one of the earliest to date is Anno 1404, and so this one will go even more than 1,000 years before that. And honestly, Ubisoft is certainly going all the way back into history, often with the Assassin's Creed series, the newest one being Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I was really hoping for more DLC for Anno 1800 that would let us go to ancient China or Japan or Korea or wherever. Even India would be interesting, and I still think there's a lot more content for 1800 that I would love. But this will be the first time that they go to Rome in this series, and it'll be the first time that we go so far back into history. And so how are they going to make Anno 117? Now, if it's PAX Romana, obviously we're going to be dealing a lot with the Romans, but there could be other factions involved here in different types of societies, and the typical piracy could still exist. We could still see a lot of shipping going on, of course, too. Massive ship right in the middle of the thumbnail here. And so we could build monuments like the Colosseum and other types of maybe temples and things like that. So of all the elements of Anno 1800 in terms of its gameplay, I think we're going to see that here. In terms of building like a giant monument in order to affect the city and how the trade and such worked in Anno 1800, I think we could expect that in Anno 117, as well as exploration. I think the whole element of sending ships out to then go off and conquer other lands and go out on expeditions will be here too. So I'm hoping that we see a very different Anno game from 117, and I hope that we also see a game that is somewhat familiar. And I know what you're all thinking: ground combat. Anno 1800 for many was a big disappointment for the grid-based elements, which I think this is still going to have. And I also think we're going to see more ship battles. I don't think we're going to get ground battles. However, if we didn't get ground combat in a game that features Rome, known for their grounds, a lot of ground war and their armies, it would be insane. So I think we will get it. I think we'll get it, but I don't think we'll get it at the same time. Like I think that would be the obvious move and the best choice for them. I think that would be the best move, but I'll believe it when I see it. Let's just say that, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is one of the best games in terms of combining land and sea battles, and I hope we get a lot of options for conquest. Of course, that's a thing of Rome, but also a lot of culture and other things to build. So it's anybody's guess. Anyway, without further ado, let's take our first look at the little teaser trailer, which doesn't really feature any gameplay yet, but it gives you a vibe of what they're trying to go for. A little bit more light-hearted, a little more humor. Anno certainly has humor. If you look at Anno 1800, they say funny things down by the docks all the time. And of course, the previous game having almost 10 different DLCs. I wonder where the hell Anno 117 is going to take us. There's so many different places and so many things they could add to it. So let's take our first look. Let's go.
By order of the Emperor, my fellow Romans, I bring forth tidings of hope across our glorious lands. For we stand on the threshold of a new age. Our streets shall be lined with abundance. Our fields shall yield bountiful harvests, and our coffers shall overflow with wealth. An era of prosperity dawns upon us, heralded by the arrival of a new governor!
You can take it from here.
An Ubisoft original indeed. So they're going for a little bit more comedy on this trailer. I think it does at least a good job of showing that, yeah, it's definitely going to be Rome and that you start from nothing. And obviously we're going to have ourselves islands, which is always typical of these games, and possibly some coastline, as I think one of those maps, Telrani or whatever it was, had a big coastline where we could build on. So it's not necessarily going to be just islands, but also, of course, it could be cool to invade a coast and push into a massive city, that kind of thing. So, yeah, A lot of things that are possible here. We need to see ground combat. We need to see advanced ship combat. We need to see naval landings here. The ability to build giant forts and, of course, in different landscapes, too. They do show a swamp and kind of like a hillside and then rolling hills. Beautiful landscape. And, of course, a ship off in the distance. So shipbuilding is going to be a big part of this game, as they always are. But, of course, since we don't have the option to advance into dreadnoughts and other things that allow us to basically go through the Industrial Revolution, the biggest advance here is probably just going to be some of the larger ships where we can build advanced fleets and advanced armies to put on them in order to land into enemy territory or fight at sea too. There's a lot of options here. But the game does show that it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation 5, so we have a possible day one console release, and it'll also be on Steam and Ubisoft Store and everything else. Actually, wait a minute, hold on. I don't see a Steam logo here. Hold on. I thought I saw one before, but I am seeing Ubisoft Plus, Epic Game Store, Xbox, and PS5. No mention of Steam. Oh, is Ubisoft doing it again? You've got to be kidding me. This is something they had done before where you had to get the Ubisoft app to get the Anno 1800 game. Actually, no. Let me take that back. Originally, Anno 1800 was on Steam, and before it released, they pulled it off. And so a few people were able to get Anno 1800 on Steam before its launch. Then it was like an Epic Game Store and I think Ubisoft Store exclusive, and then later they were like, all right, fine, you guys win. And then they put it on Steam with all the DLCs. Oh boy, this is going to really piss a lot of people off. If we don't see armies, if we don't see Steam, this is going to be risky. This is going to be a risky project. I want it to succeed. Anno is a lot of fun. I love the fact that they're going, almost 2,000 years back into time from the previous games of like 2070, 2205, and 1800. We're almost 2,000 years back going to 1117 or 11.7, whatever the hell you want to call it. 117 PAX Romana could be a game that's going to be the best ever, but a lot of these things could really hurt the launch of it. Now, this also happened with Anno 1800, and I stand next to Anno 1800 as being a very, very good Anno game. And my first Anno game was 1404, and I hadn't yet played 2070 or 2205 even now. So there was about a 10-year gap between 2009 and 2019 when Anno 1800 came out before 1404. So I wonder how this is going to go. I was expecting to see something like Anno 1602 or 1503 or 1701, the first three that were back in like 98, 2002, and 2006, I believe. And those games were really good at the time, and of course were grid-based. All the games were grid-based, and I was expecting, honestly, to see something like that, a remake of those times. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about the whole possible army. Is it a make or break for you? Does it have to happen? What do you need to see in order to buy Anno 117? I don't know what we're going to call it, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be a big concern for a lot of you guys, too. Options are good, and this only being on Epic and Ubisoft and not Steam is a big slap in the face to PC gamers, I think, because we want options. If you want to play it on PS5, go ahead, but if you prefer to play it on PC, you should have that option too. That option's here, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, a brand new Anno game is coming. I'm excited. I want to see more. Get me more information. Available in 2025, by the way, so we have a next year release. Could be maybe summer of next year, maybe even the autumn. I'd expect it to be a little later. So I think we're about a year away from a release of a new Anno game. But I'm excited. I want to see more. They got my interest. Let's see what happens. And let's see some more trailers and artwork and gameplay, and that'll be badass. Now, I'm recording this before the Ubisoft Forward event, so they will drop the trailer for that, and I'll react to that as well. And we'll see if there's some additional gameplay there. And hopefully they have that, but I think it's just going to be the teaser. Anyway, let me know what you thought, what your thoughts are, what you think, and I'll see you all next time. Anno, yeah, all right, cool. I'm excited.